Hi brothers and sisters, thank you for clicking on this video. I want to guarantee you that you won't regret watching this video. Rather, you will thank God for bringing this video your way. This is a testimony of a woman who died and was unconscious for 6 hours. But during that time, she wasn't unconscious at all. She was standing in a hall of living fire watching angels read from glowing scrolls about the destiny of nations. And brothers and sisters, what the angel revealed to her will open your eyes to what's really happening in our world right now. This is the most urgent testimony we've received because it connects biblical prophecy to events happening right now today. Kindly tell us where you are watching from so we can always include you in our 1-hour prayer that we conduct every day for our subscribers. Kindly watch this video to the end. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more of these testimonies coming your way. Enjoy listening. My name is Meadowlark Sterling and I'm 30 years old. I live in London and I work at a small bookshop near Camden Market. Today, what I'm about to tell you happened to me 2 weeks ago. I was walking to work like I always do. The weather was typical London gray and drizzly. I had my umbrella up and I was thinking about what sandwich I was going to buy for lunch. Normal stuff. You know how your mind just wanders when you're doing the same route every single day. I was also thinking about a book order that was supposed to come in that morning. Romance novels mostly. They sell pretty good in our shop. Then I stepped off the curb to cross the street and then the crash. I don't remember getting hit by a car. The doctors told me later that a delivery van ran a red light and knocked me 20 feet down the road. My head hit the pavement hard, real hard. The impact cracked my skull, they said. I was unconscious before I even landed. The driver apparently stopped and called for help right away. He was crying, they told me. Kept saying he didn't see me, that I just appeared out of nowhere. But what happened next wasn't unconsciousness. It was something else entirely, something I still can't fully wrap my head around even now. I found myself standing in a place that wasn't Earth. The ground under my feet was solid, but it looked like glass mixed with clouds, like frozen water, but also like vapor at the same time. I know that don't make sense, but that's the only way I can describe it. And stretching out in front of me was this massive hall. The ceiling went up so high I couldn't see where it ended. It just kept going up and up into brightness. And everywhere there was light, but not the kind that hurts your eyes. It was warm and comfortable, like being wrapped in a blanket on a cold day. The air itself felt different. Thick somehow. Heavy with presence. Like the atmosphere was alive and breathing. I could feel power all around me, but it wasn't scary. It was just there, undeniable. Then I noticed the beings. Tall figures standing in rows like soldiers at attention. They had to be angels, but they didn't look like the pictures in children's books. No cute little cherubs with harps. These was powerful looking, strong, built like warriors. Their faces was serious and focused. Some had multiple wings folded against their backs. Others had eyes that glowed with inner fire. And they was all looking toward the center of the hall, where there was this enormous table made of what looked like living fire. The table itself was massive, had to be 50 feet long at least, and it wasn't burning anything. The fire just danced and moved, but stayed in the shape of furniture. I watched it for what felt like ages, just trying to understand what I was seeing. Sitting around that table was more angels. But these ones was different from the warriors standing guard. They had this authority about them, this weight. They wore robes that shifted colors as they moved, blues and purples and golds all flowing together. And they had these scrolls in front of them, ancient-looking scrolls that glowed with their own light. Some was sealed with wax, others was open and being read, and they was discussing something real important. I could hear their voices, but not like normal hearing. It was like the words went straight into my mind without going through my ears first. They spoke in languages I never heard before, but somehow I understood every word perfectly. They was talking about nations, about leaders, about choices that was being made on Earth right now at this very moment, about doors being opened and doors being closed, about opportunities and consequences. And as they talked, I saw images appearing above the table like holograms, but more real than any hologram I ever seen. I saw countries from a bird's eye view. Cities with millions of people going about their business not knowing they was being watched from heaven. People in suits shaking hands in fancy rooms. Crowds gathering in streets holding signs and shouting. Armies moving across borders. Ships carrying cargo across oceans. It was like watching the news but from heaven's perspective. Like seeing everything all at once instead of just one story at a time. One of the angels, a really tall one with eyes that burned like coals, looked up from the scroll he was reading and saw me standing there at the edge of the hall. He rose from his seat slowly, deliberately, and walked toward me. Each step he took echoed through the entire space. I wanted to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I was frozen to the spot. He stopped right in front of me, and I had to crane my neck back to look at his face. He had to be at least 9 feet tall, maybe taller. His presence was overwhelming, like standing next to a furnace, but one that gave off authority instead of heat. He spoke. His voice was deep and made my whole body vibrate like a tuning fork. He told me not to be afraid. He said those exact words that angels always seem to say to humans. Don't be afraid. He said my name was Meadowlark and that I was there for a reason. Not by accident, not by chance. He said I was going to see things that most humans don't get to see until they die and leave their bodies permanently. But because of what was coming to Earth real soon, I needed to see it now while I still had time to go back and tell others. I just nodded because I couldn't think of what to say. What do you say to an angel? Thanks for having me. Nice place you got here. My mind was completely blank except for shock. He led me to the table and the other angels made room for me to see the scrolls better. They looked at me with curiosity but also with something like compassion, like they felt sorry for what I was about to witness. The tall angel told me his name was something I can't pronounce properly in English, but it sounded like Raziel when I tried to say it in my head. He said he was one of the Watchers, angels assigned to observe human affairs and report back to the throne about what was happening on Earth. He explained that what I was about to see wasn't meant to scare me. It was meant to prepare me, to wake me up, to help me understand the times I was living in. Then he showed me the first scroll. As soon as he unrolled it, I saw visions playing out like a movie, but three-dimensional. I could see it from all angles at once somehow. I saw a man standing in front of cameras and microphones, lots of them. He was older with unusual orange-tinted hair styled in a distinctive way. He wore expensive suits and had this confident, almost aggressive way of speaking. And he was talking about peace, about bringing nations together, about making deals that would change the Middle East forever, about being the greatest negotiator in history. Raziel explained to me that this man wasn't the final enemy of God. He wasn't the beast spoken about in old prophecies. That was important to understand, he said. People was always trying to figure out who the Antichrist was, always pointing fingers at this leader or that leader, but they was missing the bigger picture. He said this man's actions was preparing the way, like someone building a road before the main traveler arrives, like preparing a stage before the lead actor comes out. Everything he was doing, all the deals and agreements and changes, was creating systems and structures and relationships that would later be used by someone much more dangerous. I saw this same man shaking hands with leaders from different countries, Middle Eastern countries specifically. They was signing papers together in fancy ceremonies, making promises, creating alliances that had never existed before in history. Countries that used to be enemies was now talking and trading and visiting each other. And above all this activity, I saw a map of Israel glowing bright red like it was the center of everything, like all roads led there. Raziel told me that the ancient writings, the prophecies given thousands of years ago, spoke about a covenant that would one day be made. A peace agreement involving many nations and Israel, a treaty that would last for 7 years. He said what I was seeing wasn't that final covenant yet, but it was practice. It was preparation, like rehearsing for a play before opening night. The actors was learning their lines. The props was being arranged. The stage was being set. He said that every major event in history required groundwork first. Things don't just appear out of nowhere. Systems take time to build. Relationships take time to develop. Trust takes time to establish. And right now in my time in 2025, that groundwork was being laid rapidly. Then the vision shifted and I saw a younger man, thinner than the first man, well-dressed in expensive tailored suits, dark hair slicked back, standing in fancy offices with views of big city skylines. He was meeting with powerful people from different countries, kings and princes and presidents. And he was talking about business and peace and investment and bringing different sides together. He had this calm, confident way about him. Like he always knew he belonged in those rooms with those people. What caught my attention and made my stomach drop was a building behind him in one vision. A tall skyscraper in what looked like New York City. Glass and steel reaching up into the sky. And the address on it made my blood run cold. It had the number 666 right there on the front, just sitting there plain as day. I looked at Raziel with wide eyes, and he must have seen my fear because he shook his head gently. He explained to me that symbols and numbers can appear in ordinary life without meaning what people think they mean. He said this young man wasn't the beast either. He wasn't the Antichrist. That building address existed long before his family ever owned it. It was just a number assigned by a city decades ago. Nothing more. But Raziel said that like the older man, this young man's work was significant. He was building bridges between nations, creating relationships, opening doors, facilitating conversations that hadn't happened in generations. And all of that infrastructure, all those connections would remain in place. They would be there waiting, ready to be used when the right person came along. Or rather, the wrong person. He told me that throughout history, humans have always tried to guess who the final enemy would be. In the early days of Christianity, they pointed at Roman emperors who persecuted believers. Later, they pointed at conquerors and dictators, Napoleon, Hitler, Stalin, men who caused tremendous suffering and death. And every time they was wrong. Not because those men wasn't evil. They was. But because they wasn't the one. The appointed time hadn't come yet, but Raziel said something that shook me to my core. He leaned down close and spoke quietly like he was telling me a secret. He said the systems was now in place. For the first time in all of human history, everything needed for one person to control the whole world exists right now. The technology is here. The political structures is forming. The economic networks is connecting across every border. Global communication happens in seconds. Global travel happens in hours. Everything is linked together in ways that was impossible even 50 years ago. He showed me more visions, and these ones scared me more than anything else I seen. I saw phones and computers and devices tracking every person's location every minute of every day. I saw money becoming invisible. No more coins or paper bills. Just numbers on screens that could be changed or erased or frozen with a single click of a button somewhere. I saw cameras on every street corner in every city watching everyone all the time, recording faces, recording movements, storing it all in massive computer systems. I saw new systems being built. Digital currencies controlled by governments, one-touch payment systems, scanners that read fingerprints or eye patterns or even chips implanted under skin. I saw people lining up willingly to get these implants because it made life easier, because it was convenient, because everyone else was doing it. Raziel explained that these things wasn't evil by themselves. Technology can be used for good. It can help people. It can save lives. It can connect families across distances. But in the hands of the wrong person, all of it would become chains. It would become a prison that people walked into willingly because they was promised safety and convenience and efficiency. He said, imagine a world where one person controlled all the money, where they could turn off your ability to buy food if you didn't obey their rules, where they could stop you from traveling if you spoke against them, where they could find you anywhere on earth within minutes. That world isn't coming, he said. That world is already here. The tools exist. They just waiting for the right person to pick them up and use them. The vision changed again, and this one was the most disturbing. I saw crowds of people, not hundreds or thousands, but millions of them, packed into city squares and streets, and they was scared and angry and desperate. Their faces showed real terror. Things had gone wrong somehow. The economy had collapsed maybe, or there was wars, or famines, or all of it at once, and they was crying out for someone to fix everything, to bring peace, to make the chaos stop, to give them security and safety and stability. And then I saw a figure stepping forward, walking out onto a stage or a platform. I couldn't see his face clearly. It was blurred somehow, like my eyes couldn't focus on it. But when he spoke, the crowds went quiet immediately. They listened. They hung on every word, and I could see hope spreading across their faces. Relief. They believed him. Whatever he was promising, they believed it completely, and they followed him. Not reluctantly, but eagerly. They gave him their loyalty, their trust, their worship almost. Raziel's voice became urgent then, more intense. He told me that the world was crying out for peace right now in my time. People was tired of division, tired of conflict, tired of uncertainty. They wanted someone strong to take charge, someone who had all the answers, someone who could unite everyone under one banner. And that desire wasn't wrong in itself. Peace is good. Unity can be beautiful. But the peace that was coming wouldn't be real peace. It would be a copy, a counterfeit, something that looked right and sounded right but was actually poison underneath. He said there's a difference between peace and the absence of conflict. Real peace comes from being right with God, from knowing the truth, from having your soul at rest regardless of circumstances. But false peace is just control. It's forcing everyone to be quiet, to obey, to conform, and that's what was coming. He told me the real peace would only come when the true king returned, when heaven itself opened up and the one who made everything came back to set things right. When justice and mercy kissed each other, when the lion laid down with the lamb. Until then, there would be false promises and temporary solutions that would all eventually fail. Every single one. Then Raziel did something unexpected. He placed his massive hand on my shoulder and I felt this overwhelming warmth flow through me. Not physical warmth, but something deeper, like liquid love pouring into my chest. And with it came understanding, clarity, strength. He told me I had to go back now. Back to my body lying on that London street. Back to the hospital. Back to my regular life selling books and drinking tea. But I had to remember what I seen. Every detail, every word, every warning. He said I had to tell people to watch carefully, to pay attention, to not be fooled by leaders who promise easy answers to hard problems, to not give up their freedom for security, to not follow voices that tell them to stop thinking for themselves. He said the final enemy hasn't been revealed yet. Nobody knows who he is. He might not even know who he is yet. But the stage is being set right now. The props is being arranged. The actors is taking their positions. The systems is being built. The networks is being connected. And when the curtain finally rises, it will happen fast. Faster than anyone expects. So believers need to stay awake. Stay alert. Keep their eyes on the real king, not on the pretenders. Don't get distracted by speculation. Don't waste time arguing about whether this person or that person is the Antichrist. Just watch, pray, stay faithful, and be ready. Before I could ask any more questions or beg to stay longer, I felt myself being pulled backwards, like a rope was tied around my waist, yanking me away. The hall got smaller and smaller. The angels faded from view. The light dimmed. And then everything went dark again. The next thing I knew, I heard beeping sounds, machine sounds, and voices speaking English with London accents. medical terms I didn't understand. Someone saying my blood pressure was stabilizing. I opened my eyes in a hospital bed. There was tubes in my arms and bandages wrapped around my head. Everything hurt. My whole body ached. A nurse saw me wake up and her eyes went wide. She shouted for a doctor. Within seconds, there was people all around me shining lights in my eyes and asking me questions. They told me I'd been unconscious for 6 hours. They said it was a miracle I survived with just a concussion and some bruises and a hairline skull fracture. They said people don't usually walk away from accidents like that. They said I was very, very lucky, but I know it wasn't just luck. I was sent back for a reason. I had a job to do. I'm just a bookshop worker from Camden. I ain't nobody important. I don't have a platform or a following. I'm not a preacher or a prophet, but what I saw in that hall changed everything for me. I can't stop thinking about those scrolls, about those visions, about Raziel's warning. The world is being prepared for something big. The systems is ready. The technology exists. The hunger for global solutions is growing every day. The pieces is all in place. And one day soon, someone will step forward promising to fix it all, promising peace and safety and unity. Don't follow that person, no matter how good they sound, no matter how much sense they make, no matter how many people around you believe in them. The only leader worth following is the one who will return from heaven itself, the one who died and rose again, the one whose kingdom will have no end. Watch the news, watch the peace deals, watch the technology. Watch how everything is connecting. Watch how fast things is changing. But don't be afraid. Fear is what they will use to control people. Instead, be ready, be awake, be faithful, because the same prophecies that warned about darkness also promise light. And that light always wins in the end. Always. No matter how dark it gets, first the dawn is coming. And when it comes, it will be glorious. That's what I learned when I died for 6 hours. That's what an angel named Raziel showed me in a hall made of living light. And that's what I needed to tell you today. Stay awake, friends. The stage is being set, but the real king is coming, and he will make all things new. Thank you for listening. If this testimony blessed you, don't go without giving this video a thumbs up. Also, share your thought about this testimony in the comments section so that we can learn from each other. Stay ready and remain ever blessed.